your web here.
Hello everyone, Dennis is here and I'm so glad and so excited to begin our course on mastering of Google Analytics 4 that consists of Google Analytics itself, but also BigQuery and LookerStudio. And in my opinion, this is one of the most comprehensive course on Google Analytics 4. On the other hand, it's built in the way that even complete beginners that never worked with Google Analytics before will be able step by step build this web and app analytic tool from the very beginning to the most advanced level. So I'm very excited. I hope you too. And ready, steady. I would like to start with some agenda for today. I know that you have all the syllabus and you could able to check the syllabus of the course. And I need to say that today probably the only lesson that lion's share of it is going to be theory. And even today in the end, actually, we are going to have pretty practical and I don't know, like the most important thing just to install Google Analytics at your property. But all the rest of our lessons are going to be pure practice. So be ready for that. And today we're going to speak a little bit about intro, about why Google Analytics and why Google Analytics 4. Also, we are going to speak a little bit about history of Google Analytics, also about concepts and, of course, influence of machine learning to nowadays reality in everything we do. And after that, today, actually, in the very first lesson, we are going to install Google Analytics at your property. So let's start. And I would like to start with actually 3 phrases of like famous people, some of them more famous, some of them less. And the first phrase is, if your business is not on the internet, then your business will be out of business. And I don't know if you know who said that or not, but this is Bill Gates. And I completely support this idea, and I think nowadays everyone understands this. And of course, there are some businesses that they are not like dependent on the internet as others, but still, if you work with people, usually like what people do when they want to run business with anyone else, they are going to internet. They are going to read about you, about your business, checking you on Google Maps, maybe checking reviews, etc. And yeah, that's why, in my opinion, being online is not an option, it's an obligation. And the second phrase, if you don't measure something, you can't understand it. And if you can't understand it, you can't improve it. What gets measured, get managed. And I remember this phrase from the very first course at my university, because this is a phrase by Peter Drucker, who like so-called the father of modern management. And I personally follow this principle in my life because I understand that if I can't measure, I cannot improve it. That's why it's crucial, and I think everyone understands it. In general, I would say that first principle about being online and second principle of measure and manage understood by many people, but this is Peter Drucker, by the way, but it's not enough. And the third phrase, with the red ocean of competitors using analytics, success demands stronger analytics. And this was said by another not as famous guy, and my picture here for fun, but I personally strongly believe that nowadays everyone can put Google Analytics Snippet on your website and use it. But the only way to survive in the future is to be better than others, is to measure better than others and make more data-driven decisions than others. And that's why you're here. And I believe you also follow these principles and support this idea, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And I'm personally very excited about this course because nowadays I'm not hands-on working with Google Analytics on daily basis, because we have some other guys in our team that implement it for clients or for our projects, but I personally follow all the Google gurus as well as some like famous bloggers, influencers and developers in this industry, because Google Analytics is, I would say, pretty essential and fundamental for the whole web analytics industry. And mastering this tool actually will help you understand how web analytics works and how data analytics works. Okay, let's go further. So After this course, you will definitely understand who are your users, their locations, their demographic, and by the way, Google will help you understand even more about your visitors. Just if someone visits your website, Google, with knowledge of all their data collection process, they will append your data with information about age of your target audience, their interests, like what they Google usually. Are they interested in music? Maybe they are interested in sport, etc. And that's some perks that actually only Google has, especially on such level. You will be able to answer a question, how do users find your site or app? And for example, if you invest the same budget in the Facebook or for example in Google, and you see that you get better results with Google search, for example, you will be able to allocate your marketing budget to this channel. And yeah, this tool will help you to understand this and make like proper decision. Also, you will be able to track actions, like I would say any actions that users do on your website, starting from basic ones like page views, scrolls, or maybe how users fill the forms, or do they engage with video, how long they actually watch the video, etc. And also you will be able to figure all the custom events and key events and conversions you want to track. And actually, I think the third lesson is going to be about conversions, and this is like not conversion, about events, and this is one of the important, like there are all of our lessons are important, but that one also is pretty fundamental because depending on how you're going to set up this is all your analytics future relates. You will be able to answer how long do users stay and engage with your website. What path do users take on your site or app, and you will be able to build all these funnels to see on which steps actually you have some bounces or vice versa conversions, and also you will be able to improve such ways. Even more, what is probability of purchase, churn, and revenue? And again, you don't need anymore to hire some expensive data analyst to build it for you. You can just utilize Google machine learning and the best data science knowledge in the world to predict your metrics. And this is amazing, actually. And you get it completely, like almost for free. We'll talk about it later, but almost for free. And the last but not the least, why Google Analytics 4 must have tool, but not as the main analytic tool, unless you connect it with BigQuery. That's why actually this course is pretty like connects of Google BigQuery and LookerStudio, because if you just utilize Google Analytics, if we come back in the very beginning, like everyone understands that we need to measure something, but I think nowadays it's not enough anymore. And if you want to make really like great decisions, and if you want to operate with really like highly collected data, basically you will need to go to BigQuery and build internal reports, internal analytics, etc. And we are going to do this in this course. But lucky you, nowadays you can do it just with simple clicks. Everything is integrated, and also with the help of AI, you don't need anymore any data scientists or front-end developers to help you to build it. And I'm in a good way actually envy you, because you don't need to spend those hours and nights of learning SQL language or JavaScript. Of course, if you know, this will be just beneficial for you. But again, this course is targeted to people that may have no knowledge about Google Analytics at all. And yeah, that's why we are going to speak about all these key components in this course, and I'm excited. So now I would like to speak about why we, when we speak about web analytics, why we speak like Google Analytics, not other tools, and why Google Analytics 4. And I like to start the course with defining the definitions, because we should be on the same page. And if you go just to Google and try to ask, okay, what is actually Google Analytics? This will tell you it's a free or paid web analytics tool that tracks and analyzes website and app performance. Actually, even here you see analyzes website and app performance, but here it says web analytics. So I would say this is not web analytics, this is web and app analytics tool that tracks. And basically, what is web and app analytics about? you should measure, for example, how many visitors, how many days, how long do they stay. You should measure it. You should collect it somewhere. You should create beautiful report, because if you see, I don't know, like thousands of records, it's difficult for brain to analyze such information. And after building these reports, you should be able to analyze it and make data-driven decisions. And for these reasons, Google Analytics is amazing tool, because it's free almost, like unless you're a very big guy, it's completely free tool. And if you're so big, the cost of working with this tool is actually nothing. It's easy to install just with few lines of JavaScript code on your website, which are like just copy paste. You don't need to do anything, and this will collect actually so lots data for you. And it's also enhanced by Google machine learning. Again, Google has one of the best possibilities in machine learning nowadays, and of course they implemented it in Google Analytics, and you can use it, and you can use it for free. So it's like it's must-have tool again. Okay. Also speaking about why Google Analytics. So if you, by the way, in all my slides and in all of my information provided here, I usually try to support with some back data, and you can click here and you can like play yourself with such websites, and you can see that among usage of traffic analytics tools for website, Google Analytics is leader by far, like 82% against 17% for the next tool. And yeah, it's like Google Analytics nowadays is probably the most advanced for like in general, yeah. And by the way, if you go on this website and check, for example, tag managers, you will see that here Google Analytics like completely dominating the market. And yeah, so that's why if you master the Google Analytics, you will probably be able to work with any tool. Yeah, so coming back to our presentation, AI is everywhere nowadays, and Google Analytics is not an exception. I would say this is one of the frontier actually, because of course Google has one of the best machine learning and one of the best data scientists that build all their knowledge, and with the help of such huge amount of data, they build so powerful prediction models that you can utilize for free. And not only, we will use actually Gemini and ChatGPT pretty a lot at our course, and this will help you and make life much more easier than it was like 2-3 years ago. Also, I want to speak about some numbers of 2024 of last year. The whole budget of United Nations for 2024 was 3 billions, a little bit above. World Health Organization budgets was a little bit less than $5 billion. NASA budget, which is like government organization about like astro space program of United States, 25 billion. Ukraine's budget, which is like the largest by territory country in Europe, 82 billion. And Switzerland, which is one of the richest countries in Europe, 88. But if you if you sum up all of these budgets, this is still will be like a little bit more than half of Google's revenue. And it's mind-blowing actually. Like one company generates more revenue per year than many countries' budgets, the whole country's budgets, the whole like huge organizations. And that's about the power of, and like that's why Google is so fundamental. And knowing those tools and understanding how they developed and why they became so powerful, so because they are the best, yeah, why, like how they become like this is very important, and I think everyone should know this. Yeah. And I very like another phrase said once by Carl Sagan. If you want to understand the future, you must first understand the past. And that's why usually all the courses I start to learn, I like to dig a little bit in the history. And like you saw how Google is actually powerful and how Google is actually huge. but how this this way, how this worked, I was really like interested, and I read so many about the history of Google and other companies, and I would like to share a little bit about history. Yeah, I believe it's important when we start. It's not gonna take much time, but it will show you a little bit more about past, and this will definitely will help us understand better our future. Well, everything started back in 90s when Tim Berners, who worked in CERN, proposed the World Wide Web. Was the beginning of the internet era, and this is important because those days were such important protocols like HTTP and HTML were created. And after that, like the first like graphic and the most popular web browser, Mosaic, was launched in 1993. In 1995 was created JavaScript, and it's important because Google Analytics is based on JavaScript, and you will see it later when we come to our demo. And what's also funny is that JavaScript, they should have another name, Linux script or something like that, and they decided to use JavaScript because those days, like in 90s, one of the most popular language was Java, and they decided from marketing point of view to use this name, but actually nowadays this is much more popular language. Java is still here, but yeah. In 1997, Urchin Software Corporation was created, and the same year Google domain was registered, but no Google company yet, because Google was created in the next year actually. And Urchin Software Corporation actually is the real ancestor of Google Analytics, and they started building this web analytics tool long before actually Google started to look at this area, because Google started as we know Google, yeah, like this search results and library of organized websites. And the mission of Google that was created, and it's still the same mission, to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And we will see later that this is so true actually what Google does. And this is impossible to organize and arrange all those information without strong web analytics. And again, coming back about Urchin Software Corporation and Google, this is actually one of the interfaces and what actually this website, this application could do. Like they could analyze so much, like actually they could analyze almost everything that nowadays we can do. They could see visitors, they could see like sessions, how much time spent on the website, etc. And this is how Google looked, like one of the first version of Google. And to be honest, like of course Google created very nice algorithm to crawl all those websites, but still I would say that Urchin team, they created on those days a very powerful tool. And who knows, like later Google actually acquired this company, but who knows, maybe today those like 300 billions of revenue could be called not like Alphabet, the company behind the Google, but maybe Urchin Software Corporation, who knows. And yeah, but that's the history, and we will see how it became that Urchin Software became actually a part of the Google. And in 2000, Google launches its cash cow, Google Ads. And coming back to the slide about this revenue, this huge revenue of Google, 80% of the revenue of the company is actually coming from advertising. And of course, like Google Ads, it's probably the best investment of Google ever could imagine. And in 2004, Google goes to IPO, and with all this money, with all these lawyers, financials, and all this corporation sharks, they could of course acquire Urchin Software Corporation, because they realized when they launched the Google Ads, they needed some advanced tracking tools, integrate more tools, etc. And even like Urchin Software Corporation, it's UTM, Urchin Tracking Metric. Even nowadays, by the way, for example, if we go to Google, let me show you, for example, let me close everything. Okay, for example, sleep tracker or whatever. Okay, yeah, like you see some sponsored content, and this is by Google. So if I click here, you can find here UTM source, UTM medium, UTM campaign. So Google still use this But this is actually the early development of Urchin Software Corporation. This is how this company was actually fundamental for many tools that Google implemented in their services. And yeah, in 2005, this became the part of Google team. And to understand also, this is one of the latest versions of Urchin, and this is one of the earliest versions of Google Analytics. So basically, you see that this is pretty the same product actually. And yeah, again, here's I put that UTM is Urchin tracking module, not metric module. Yeah. Okay. So from 2005, Google Analytics is part of Google. In 2012, Google launched Google Tag Manager, and on fifth lesson, we are going to work with Google Tag Manager. And actually, today we will implement JavaScript of Google Analytics directly, but on the fifth lesson, we are going to implement it with Google Tag Manager, and in future, we are going to work with Google Tag Manager. This is also very successful product, I would say, for Google. In 2013, Google Analytics transitions to Universal Analytics, and this ancestor of Google Analytics 4. In 2014, Google acquired another company, DeepMind, that's a company that worked in artificial intelligence, and Gemini and other artificial intelligence projects of the Google started there. And you will see how all these acquisitions and mergers and launches of new products, how they all collected in all these powerful tools that we are learning today. And in 2014, Google acquired Firebase. Firebase is a pretty similar tracking tool, but not for web, but for mobile application. If you remember, iPhone was launched in 2008 or something like that. I can be wrong. But starting from those days, mobile internet started to grow, and Google realized, okay, if we want to be the leader, we need to track not only websites, but also applications. That's why they acquired Firebase. In 2016, Google launched Data Studio. Data Studio is actually ancestor of LookerStudio, and okay, Google has all this data. Definitely they understood that they need to create some tool, some Power BI tool, not Power BI, but data visualization tool. Power BI is another tool like Tableau, Power BI, LookerStudio, and that's why they launched this Google Data Studio. And in 2018, in Europe was very important law changes, and GDPR came into effect, and actually it influenced significantly the industry and how the data is collected, how the data is processed, and how the data is appended with machine learning algorithms. And we will have pretty much changes because of GDPR. In 2020, Universal Analytics became Google Analytics 4, and in 2024, Google introduced the new, more advanced library, gtag.js. And in 2023, Google launched BART, after the Gemini AI, and those tools actually gonna help us a lot, because when we start working in practice, you can ask them anything, especially Gemini. You still can work with ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever you like, but since Gemini is a product by the same company as Google Analytics, I feel that sometimes it provides better answers than, for example, ChatGPT. But again, this is you can use whatever helps you in your journey. Okay, now let's speak a little bit about what is Google Analytics 4, as well as 4 important concepts of Google Analytics and influence of machine learning and artificial intelligence. So there are 4 main ideas about Google Analytics 4. First, this is event-based data model, and this is very important to understand, especially for those that learn actually universal analytics in the past, because the logic of building the architecture of the whole analytic is a little bit different. This granular data allows for more flexible analysis and insights compared to the previous session-based model. For those who work with Google Analytics Universal, the whole analytics was based on sessions. Now it's event-based. The second, cross-platform tracking. You remember in the beginning I said that this is not only web analytics tool, but this is web and app analytics tool. So nowadays you can cross your user against many platforms. For example, I use my phone, I use website, I use working laptop, etc. And Google can track me across all of them and understand and attribute all my actions to that one user that I am. Yeah. The third is machine learning and predictive models. Again, as I already said, nowadays you will be able to utilize these tools on maximum, and you will be able to do it for free. And the last but not least, raw data processing. Again, Google Analytics 4 facilitates seamless integration with BigQuery just in a few clicks. So you don't need, like, when I started to work with Google Analytics and we started to integrate some internal databases, every time I needed something, I had to like make a task for developers to make some changes or to create connection to new database. In case I need something from databases that is out of like usual reports, I need to text data analyst. So like the huge team should have worked for what you can do now just in a few clicks, and that's amazing, and we are going to learn it here. So, and let's speak about each of these concepts a little bit in more details. The first is event-based data model. As I said, in Google Analytics, we had those sessions, whereas in Google 4, everything is based on events. And if you remember, Google acquired Firebase, and in applications, the whole structure, the whole architecture actually was built on events from the very beginning. And after they acquired that company, they started to think, okay, how we need, like, we want to track user on both, on application and website, we need to be able to compare this data. And that's why they decided to rebuild actually web tracking and use like event-based model. And it's very important to understand, and I think this table actually very good shows the difference. Yeah, but this is important more for people that work with universal analytics. For those that start from the very beginning, just remember that event is like the most important, like fundamental substance in analytics. And you can see that even now analytics conversions have been renamed key events, like the whole analytics based on events. Just remember this. When we go closer about events, about tracking, about your use cases, you will be able to understand better, but just remember event-based data model. The second, cross-platform tracking. Again, as I said, you go with your phone, and you're logged with the same account, you're logged on your laptop. And Google, across all the signals, Google can understand that you're the same user. And whenever you saw some advertising on your phone, but after that you open your laptop and found this product and bought it. So Google will be able to track you across all your devices and attribute in more correct way like what actually made me to buy something. Just as example, this is not only about purchases, but just as example. And this actually pretty like, because Google tracked mobile application long back before, but Google tracks them as separate users. If I buy something on my phone, I'm one user. I go to my laptop and buy something from laptop, I'm another user. And in your stats, you could see like two different users, but in fact, I'm one user. And nowadays, Google can actually see that that it's me across many platforms I can use. Even here, like when you this is actually we're going to do today from the very beginning. That's pretty interesting to read how is actually data analytics by user works, and first and most important by user ID, second by device ID, and third modeling. And it's also coming back about GDPR. You definitely should have seen all these like banners or pop-ups, etc. about cookies. And Google Analytics is based actually on cookies. And in case you deny collecting cookies, Google somehow should still predict like your behavior, because like we use Google Analytics, we want to understand, okay, what's going with such users that denied collecting the cookies. And Google will use their modeling to predict actually and compare our behavior to other lookalike users like us. And this will help to append this analytics with reluctant data. And the next principle is machine learning and predictive metrics. And this is so actually powerful because you don't need to have your team of very expensive data analysts. Those guys are usually very smart, but they're very expensive for business owners. And nowadays, for majority of businesses, you can actually use machine learning proposed by Google, and it becomes better and better. And of course, like for big companies, it still makes sense to have internal analysts and to check everything. But what I notice, even working with very, very smart data analysts, that sometimes these machines, probably because Google has like so more data, but they predict so good, and you can use it for free. And yeah, this is just an example how the conversion modeling works. Like in the past versions, we had attribution of sales, for example, like this. Yeah, like for direct, we had 10, and with here should be with, not without. Just a moment, let me correct it immediately. Yeah, with conversion modeling, you will be able to attribute, like here you will have 6, but for organic referral and paid search, you will get 1 additional conversion. And this is much more advanced, and this will help you to make more like proper decisions about your business, about your marketing budgets, about your priorities. Yeah. And the last but not the least, again, raw data processing. We are going to work with BigQuery closely, and what I just wanted to show you is that nowadays you can do it just with few clicks. You just go to your product links, you go to BigQuery lines and connect it to your property in BigQuery, and that's it. The whole data from your Google Analytics will flow to your Google BigQuery, and you can do anything you want. You can create SQL queries, and again, with nowadays like Gemini model, for example, it's so easy. Like, and again, because Gemini is from the same company, you can ask, for example, I have BigQuery database from GA4, and I want to see all users for yesterday. Create SQL for me. This is just this example. This, like in a second, this will provide you with SQL request, and all you need just to replace with the actual path to your GA4, which you also copy paste. You put it in your BigQuery request, and it builds you whatever you need. And this is so amazing. Like, to be honest, I started to work with Gemini and ChatGPT, and I started with some basic SQL requests, but nowadays I see that they can actually build very, very comprehensive reports and requests, and that's amazing. Like, definitely, like we should use this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this just is like example of what we can do with BigQuery and Cloud Platform and raw data processing. And yeah, let's sum up a little bit about concepts that we discussed. So real-time data streaming with LookerStudio connected, you have access visualize data 24/7. So basically you can just connect your Google Analytics to your BigQuery, create, I don't know, like whatever report you want, like whatever graph you want, put it on your TV, on your, I don't know, on your phone, whatever you want, and you can see 24/7 what's happening in real time on your website. And it's everything so easy that, yeah, like that's amazing, guys. Second, perform advanced cohort analysis, retention analysis, and churn prediction. Again, with raw data, Google Analytics is very advanced, and you can find like many reports. But if you want some very specific, or you want to play with data, or you have data analysts that can have that can build like more advanced, more like customized reports, you will be able to do it. Third, enrich Google Analytics for data by integrating information from other systems. For example, you have internal CRM system, and you want to enrich, I don't know, like some information from your internal system to Google data, or vice versa, from Google data to your CRM system, whatever you want. And also merge Google Analytics 4 with external data sets, and yeah, whatever data set. For example, you're owner of some I don't know, like cafe, and or like pizza, yeah, you're owner of pizza, and you can see the number of orders depending on the weather, because you can connect to the database of weather during specific days, and you can also have like orders from Google Analytics in specific days, and you can see how the weather influence how many orders you get per day, just as example, and so many more actually. And build customized predictions and decision-making systems. Again, having internal 24/7 real-time data collected on your site, you can build so like powerful customized reports and analysis, and and we are going to do it a little bit later. This is more advanced, but you will be able to do it. And actually, this is all about the theory for today, because we are going to our next part, and we are going to implement your first Google Analytics 4 to your website. Okay guys, so can you imagine how quickly actually we moved from the theory to the practice, and we are going to install your first Google Analytics into your website. And I will tell you even more. Today you're going to collect all this data, and actually you will have all those beautiful charts that we saw from the very beginning. So that's how quickly we move and implement everything like that. And in the next lesson we'll just improve it, explain, and make it more advanced. But yeah, let's get started. So basically, to implement the data analytics into your website, you need to have two things. First, you need to have your website, and second, you need to have Google Analytics account. And for the website, like you can implement the Google Analytics yourself, or you can just send a piece of code to your developer or whoever who built the website for you, and ask them, okay, please put it on my website. That's it. That's all your developing skills that you need so far. And actually in future you will not need much more, because whatever we will need to change, it will be inside the Google account. And yeah, so I thought for the demo I need some website for you, and on our website actually there is already Google Analytics. That's why, in order not to delete it and install new, I decided to create a new subdomain, and this will be like completely a new website, and you will be able to see everything from the very beginning. And yeah, as I said, on my website I already have Google Tag Manager as well as Google Tags. That's why I will not use this website, but I created a subdomain like GA4 not 3.4 demo.scaleyourweb. Yeah, here it is, and you see there is no website, and we are going to create this website. And actually in the beginning I thought to put some beautiful page created here, but I decided, okay, actually I'm going to show you how quickly you can create any website in case you need something like that. And we will use our favorite tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever. And let's test it together with you. I have no idea what the website will be looking like. I just going to create it in the real time with you. So, okay, I need a website. The website of Scale Your Web Academy for the course Google Analytics 4 Analytics, BigQuery, and LookerStudio. The website should be in corporate colors, but Google doesn't know what are my corporate colors, so I will tell like white, black, and red, but I don't need any red. We have specific color for red, and there is also a little trick I want to show you that you can use in future. For example, you need some specific color like this. It's not typical red, so you can just select this element. You can click in your Google Chrome inspect, and if you go to elements, like to this element, you will find some code, and you will also find this color. So I need exactly this red. Okay, and I put that I need white, black, and this red color. The website should be the form for students to collect their feedback about the course. we will create some forms just in order that you see different events when you click, when you fill or input something in the fields. Of course, this will not be connected to database yet, but this will be enough for us for front end just to test the events that we are going to test during the course. Okay, and we need to have inputs of full name and email, as well as feedback. Also, for example, I need the slider to put the mark from 1 to 5. The slider to estimate the course lesson from 1 to 5. Okay, and in the end, I need submit feedback button, like call to action. And I need some animations and very beautiful design, something like that. Okay, here it is. So I copy it, and now I need to place this text on my website. Usually website is hosted somewhere, so if you're familiar, like where is your website actually, or maybe you use some CMS systems like WordPress or Wix or whatever, you just create a new page and put this text there. I will use, in my case, some, like, you can put this in Notepad, whatever. I use Sublime, so I just copy this text here. And let's see what it looks like actually. Let's save it, save as, I will save it as index.html, and I will put it on my desktop. Okay, let's save, and let's open it and see how it looks like. Okay, actually this looks like this. Share your feedback, full name, email, feedback, course rating, and submit the feedback. Okay, actually it's not very in my colors, because probably there is CSS as a separate. No, okay, nice, but I need more CSS. I want it to be more beautiful. Okay, and in a second it's gonna change. Okay, it's create as a separate CSS file just to simplify. Create both HTML and CSS in one file that I can simply copy and paste. Okay, just not to take too much time for this. You can play after that with it yourself. I will just use whatever it provided to me. I will save it, and okay, it's already much better. You see, we are going to use this form on our website. So now I need this website to be delivered to my hosting, that it's going to be available for everyone in the internet. And for that, I will use FTP again, or like, it depends on what you use. I will use FTP to send it to my server, and in a few seconds it's gonna be actually already hosted in the internet. Yeah, here we are, course rating. Okay, and let's put it, for example, Dennis, email feedback. Okay, submit. Okay, it's not gonna, here's even some validations. Yeah, this is just for the beginning, just to show you that you have whatever website you have, etc. And you can click here, view page source, and you see here is like no Google Analytics or whatever like that. So first of all, we need to have a website. So now we have the website, and we have access to this website. We can make any changes. If you can't do it yourself, you should have access to your developer who can implement the few lines of JavaScript on your website. The second, you need to have Google account. This can be connected to your personal Gmail, or you don't need even actually Gmail, because you can create Google account even with your corporate email, for example. And just for the in my case, for example, if I go to Analytics, okay, let's open it here. Yep. not this one, this one. Yeah. When you create account, you will need to start with creating new account. So this will look like this: create account, and you will start from this step. But to be sure that this is completely for the newcomer that just came to the world of Google Analytics, we will do everything from the very beginning. Let's imagine that I don't have any account, and I will use my corporate email for this purpose, and this is not Gmail. Okay, yeah, here we are. And as you can see, I don't have any analytics account yet, so it just offers me to start measuring. Let's start measuring, and we need to create some account here. So I will put like scale your web lesson 1. Oh, let it be GA4 GA4 1. Okay. Course 1. Okay, here I suggest like you can put all the agreements to Google for technical support, for modeling contributions, etc. Yeah, let's go next. You need to create a property. Again, we are going to have this as a demo GA4 course. You should put the name that will be easy for you to understand, because later when you have, for example, 5 different websites or 5 different properties, you will need to be able to easily identify them. So I suggest to put like identifiable names. Also about your time zone, it's also pretty important. For example, I'm based in East time zone, so I will, okay, yeah, here it is. This is important as well, because in case you're going to use Google Analytics with your Google Ads later to match the statistics from your ads account with Google Analytics, it's pretty important, because you can have conversion in one system, for example, in 10 p.m. of 2nd of February, whereas in another you will have at 2 a.m. Of the next day. So it's not very convenient. You will be able to change these settings later, but still try to build everything correct from the very beginning. Same with currency. In case you use any other currency, like use the currencies that you're going to measure your performance. Yeah. So here we click just next. This, I think, just for Google purposes, to understand their clients and to make some market research. So I put like 110 person, and the industry I will put, for example, internet telecom. You can choose whatever you work in. This is also just for market research purpose. Here is more important actually, because I remember there was no settings like this, but starting from Google Analytics 4, actually we need to choose what is the business objective. And from the very beginning, it can be confusing, like what should I take? Like, I don't know, like I want to generate leads, I want to drive sales and conversions, I want to understand my web and traffic. And actually, you will be able to do everything like that. But from the very beginning, your objective will just help you to focus on what's important for you. But basically, you will be able to check everything. And based on what you will indicate here, the first report that you're going to see in your Google Analytics property is going to be connected to these goals. And let's do like this. I have idea actually. We'll create few properties with different goals, and I will show in real time how it works. And this is also a good example, because it's impossible to break it. If you create something that you don't like, or like you create it for just test purposes, you will be able to delete it. So no worries, you will not break anything. And here, for example, I will take generate leads, and a little bit later we will take some other. And for example, okay, I even will create separate name for my property that we can easily compare it later. Yeah, okay, so my goal is generating leads. Of course, I need to accept all the data processing terms. You need to understand that Google has no responsibilities on whatever you do on the website and how you use this data. So be sure that in case you do something illegal, etc., Google has no connection to it. And of course, if you do not accept, you can't continue using this tool. Yeah. And basically that's it. Now we need to choose whether we are going to work with web, or this is Android or iOS app. We are going to work with web. We put here the website GA4. What was the website? Okay, here it is. GA4 stream name, I will call it same. And here what is important, you have possibilities to use enhanced measurement. If you click here, you can see what actually enhanced measurement you're going to use. For example, you can track scrolls, which is like if the person scrolls 90% of the page they want will be fired some clicks, form interactions, video engagement, etc. And I recommend, at least from the very beginning, to put it everything on switch on, because this will give you like more insights, more understanding how it works. Later, if you don't like it, you can work without it, but in the very beginning I suggest you to work with enhanced measurement. Yeah, like this, and let's create and continue. Okay, looks like we have created it. Okay, we have account, and now we need to somehow connect this account to our website. And that's where the only developing skills you will need. You need to put this piece of code to your website. That's it. All the rest, like collecting from your web page all those data about users, about their IP, about their location, about their browser, about language of their browser, all this data will be collected automatically. All you need, you just put this piece of code, and that's it. Yeah, so in our case, we will copy it. We will come back to our website. So let's open it again with Sublime Text. And in the head, I suggest always to put it in the very beginning. Later, we will actually install it with Google Tag Manager on the 5th lesson. But yeah, for now, I always put it for the very beginning, because sometimes if the website is loading too long, or for example, has any issues, this code will be the first one that is actually uploaded. And this will help you to track users' behavior from the very beginning, and it will help you, like it will give you some insights later. So I suggest like this. So I save it, and I need actually to send it to my server via FTP, and let's try again. Now let's view the page code, and you can see it's already on my website with this Google identifier. You'll find out later that actually all the Google Analytics JavaScript codes, they are completely same. The only different is this ID, and every account will have different IDs. Even few IDs will be connected to the same account. We will talk about it later, but just for your information, remember about this code, because sometimes, for example, if for your website you use some CMS like WordPress or Wix or any other platforms, all they need just this identifier, and you can find this in your analytics. Yeah. You can find it in your analytics here. Okay, so I put it on my website. I want to test installation, and my Google tag was correctly detected on the website, and we are ready to go. Actually, we were ready from the very moment we started to collect all the data about the visitors, and we will see in a few seconds how it works. So I confirm here. Here you have your measurement ID that I was talking about. You can save it, you can use it later in Google Tag Manager, for example, etc. And yeah, again, here's what we already track. And yeah, I think for like you can click and you can check what all these tabs, but I would say for the very beginning, you already install it on your website. And there are a few things that we need to change from the very beginning, and to check from the very beginning to understand that the Google Analytics works, and we can see actually that it works properly. One more thing, actually, I forgot to mention that this code that I implemented currently only on this website, on this web page. And in case you have many pages, be sure to insert this piece of code to all of your pages. Usually websites are built in dynamic way that you put this just in one place and it's replicated to all the pages, like in header, etc. Like you use the same footer, for example, for all of your pages. The architectures of websites work like that. But in case you have some or in case you don't want it to be installed on some pages, so you just don't install it on that pages. That's it. So this works only on the pages that it's installed. For example, if I go to my website here, and if I go to check my code on this page, this will not be here. Okay, here it is, this identifier. I will not be able to find it on my main website. Yeah, instead there will be my another analytics account. Okay, so we created it. It works. Again, in case you you use some CMS, actually you can use some integrations that Google already has. You can put, for example, WordPress, Wix, Shopify, like all main, the most popular systems you'll find here, and you can just select your platform. For example, I use WordPress, and this will tell you exactly what to do. So you have this identifier, you install some plugin, you put your identifier in this plugin. That's it. Just few clicks and you're done, and you don't need even working with your hosting, FTP, etc. Okay. I remember that I said that we are going to show you how it's going to work with different goals when you set up initially your property. Okay, usually I share the data, no problem. It makes Google better, but remember, there's a very nice series on the Netflix, Social Dilemma, that says that if you don't pay for the product, you're the product. So just keep in mind about it. Yeah, so we created already our property, and if we go to our reports, we see here is like business objectives, and you remember that I even named this property as generate leads, and you have this library of reports created specifically for this purpose. But let's imagine that during the creation I actually created a different goal, and for this let's create a new property. I will call it actually the same, just with another purpose. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Scale web GA4 course 1, and what was the name of property? Demo GA4 generate leads. Okay, demo GA4, and we will use not generate leads but something else. Okay, so again, I am small, I'm internet, telecom, and business objective. You remember the first time we choose generate leads, but for this time let's take, for example, understand web or app traffic or drive sales and conversion, and let's create the property. Again, this is gonna be website, it's gonna be GA4 demo scale your web.com. I will call the same. Okay, create and continue. I'm not going even to install this snippet here, but just for you to show the difference. Yeah, Google tracks yeah, here it is. It's created. Let's go next. Data collection is pending. Continue to home, and here we are. Here we have two. One we created as generate leads, and the second as like boosting sales, something like that. And again, currently we are in the report for drive sales and conversions. Yeah, like when I created drive sales and conversions, here like the main priority reports you have is about sales and conversions. If we go to this property, where in the beginning we choose our objective is to generate leads, you will have a little bit different reports. But actually, if you need any other reports, you go to library, and here you can like publish. You see like generate leads, acquisition, engagement, and for example I need this, so I just click published, and when I go to report, I will have accept all these generate leads. I will have also life cycle, and you can even create your own library, etc. Why they created like this? Why not all the reports for every account? I think because they have so many data and so many like reports that they don't want to confuse actually people that just came to the Google Analytics. That's why like they created the main goal. What's your priority? But again, if you want to work with different, like customize, you can usually like you can always do that. Okay, and also I want to show you how to delete the property in case you created it by accident or just don't need it. So you go to the property details. I want to keep with this, but I want to delete this one. Yeah. So I go to admin panel, I go to my property, I click property details, and here you have move to trash. And actually you will have even like 35 days to restore it in case you need. After 35 days, no options to restore it, and you will lose all the data connected to that property. So be aware in case you delete it, so you have only 35 days to recover it. So yeah, and we deleted this property. Now we have just one working property. And Also, for the first lesson, since we still have a little time, I would say there are a few things that I recommend to do. This is not obligatory, but I think this is usually I recommend it to do to everyone. So first of all, you need go to your data collection, go to your data retention, and here by default you will have 2 months. The other option is 14 months. In case you use some like paid version for corporations, you will have even more options like to save it for a few years. But in a free version, you have possibility to save data for 2 months or for 14 months. For aggregated reports, you will have them like much longer, I don't know, like 4 years, etc. What this means, 2 months or 14 months, how long Google is going to save your initial raw data. What I mean, for example, in aggregated reports, you will be able to see, like, for example, I had, 100 visitors yesterday, and I had 80 visitors that used English. Yeah, this is aggregated reports, but I will not be able to check every visitor's data, what actually browser's language was. And having 14 months, you will be able to check it for 14 months. Later, when we connect it to BigQuery, you will be able to check it as long as your BigQuery exists. But for now, I suggest to put it on 14 months and save it from the very beginning. It's free for you. It's more data for Google. And it's better to have it 14 months than 2 months, in my opinion. Okay. What else I recommend? If we go to data connection, Google Signals data collection. Again, we already discussed that Google has many products. They have Gmail, they have Google Chrome, they have this is ecosystem, and they can use their internal signals to band your data, to improve your data, and if you want, you can use these signals. If you don't want, you can don't use it. And I recommend to turn on, because you will be able to get some data about age of users. For example, if I visit someone's website, they will never, and I never buy anything, I never put my age there. Yeah, they will never know about me that I'm I'm in this age group, etc. And Google, by knowing this information about me, can actually show later in the stats, not specifically about me. This is also important to understand that GDPR still works, but in aggregated data, the website owner will know that, for example, 50% of the website visitors, they are coming from, let's say, this country or in this age group, or they are male or female, etc. And that's why I recommend to turn it on. You can read more about it here. And basically, that's all for the very, very beginning. It's already enough because you already started collecting all the data, and you can actually, let's also speak how you can check that everything is correctly tracking. And there are a few ways to do that. The first way is actually real-time report, real-time overview. I already see that there are a few visitors of the website, and all of them are mine because I opened in incognito, and basically this is different cookie. That's why Google Analytics thinks that this is 3 different visitors. Let's open even one more, for example, in Safari. Okay. Not here. Okay, let's open even in Safari. I've opened it in Safari. I go back here, and in a second it should show me that there are already 4 active visitors. Okay, let's just update. Sometimes it takes more than seconds, than milliseconds. Sometimes it's just immediately. So be ready for this, because in real time they it's not as precise as for example all the reports you're going to see in 48 hours, and usually the more data you have, the better for you, because Google has some thresholds. They don't, because of GDPR, because all this data privacy of users, they don't reveal the whole data for you from the very beginning. And be ready for that. But except this real time, we already see that it works because it shows me some information about my users in real time. Let's open even more just to show you that it works. And let's refresh it. Still free. Okay. Maybe same incognito uses the same cookie, that's why. Okay. Yeah. We can close it. Yeah. It started, yeah, like it took a few minutes, but anyway, and you see it already started to collect some information like page view, scroll, even though I didn't scroll this website, but because this website is very short, this event is count when 90% of the page is actually showed to the visitor. And since this website is very short, it already counted as a scroll, first visit, user engagement. This is because I clicked something, so this is user engagement. And yeah, I will click even more just to show you that it started to track. And later, for example, tomorrow, when you go not to real time, but if you go, for example, to acquisition and overview where user coming from, you will be able to see this data. That's why from the very beginning that you put this piece of code on your website, you started collecting data, and that's the most important, because later you will be able to play with this data however you want. But this is the most important for today. And yeah, just to show you a few more things that I recommend and how you can actually check that you have placed the Google Analytics on your website. If we go to extensions and we go to manage extensions and you put here Google Analytics, you will find here a few like Google Analytics Debugger as well as some others, the helper for Google and yeah, and Analytics Debugger. So actually in the extension stores, you will find so many amazing tools that can help you. You can read about them, but I recommend to put officials from the Google, as well as this one also pretty nice with the duck as the logo and how it works. For example, if I open our website, I have this extension here, and you can see that one text is found. This means that this counter is actually already collecting the data. And again, if we go to our analytics and checking what is this ID, this ID will be our ID of from our installation. Yeah, here it is, you see. So we with this extension we can understand that everything is correct. We have this here. That's amazing. Another extension is Google Analytics Debug, and it's more advanced because you can use it. Okay, let me show you. I hope I will not overload for the first time, but yeah, here in the Google Analytics 4 you will be able to debug all of your properties. And we go to admin, we go down and we see debug view. When we run it, we already have some information about users, like form start. Why form? Because this is considered as a form. Yeah. For example, let me put some things here. Okay. This should show some engagement, some interaction, some clicks just in the seconds. Yeah. Any interaction with the form. Let me refresh it. Yeah, it shows form started, and actually you can already see some important information here about this form, like what's the page location, what is my Google session ID, and page title. Yeah, we created it as a course feedback, etc. And that's another way how you can use it. But I just for easier just install those two extensions, and on the next lesson we are going actually to discuss it more. And one more thing actually I wanted to show you, because I didn't know it myself until I found this trick. If you go to developers tools and you want to check how actually Google works, I already told you that Google Analytics works with cookie, and this is like a piece of JavaScript, and for all this tracking, cookie is very important. And in every cookie, on every website that uses Google Analytics will put such piece of information into your browser. And what's interesting, I never knew about it, that this second part is actually UNIX timestamp, and it shows the first date of the visit date converter. Yeah, and for example, if I put it here, convert, and it shows me when exactly I when exactly was my first visit. And by this value, actually, Google Analytics knows, for example, that I'm a repetitive user, or how, like, what's my lifetime on the website, etc. And it's very nice. You can play, and we will play with this a little bit later. But I think for today, the most important that we did, that we learned the importance of Google Analytics. The most important, we could install it on our website and start collecting data. Okay guys, that's pretty it for today. I think that's more than enough for the first day. We already learned some theory about Google Analytics. We spoke about some history of Google Analytics and why it became so fundamental and important. We also spoke about why actually Google Analytics 4 and what's the key concepts of it, as well as influence of artificial intelligence on it. And the most important, today we implemented your Google Analytics counter on your website, and you started collecting the data, and that's the most important. In the next lessons, we're going to go deeper and deeper and implement many amazing things, so stay tuned, and remember, what gets measured gets managed. Scale your web here.